Hey guys, me here, Ninja again, back at another video. This is something I really wanted to touch upon real quick. It was the system requirements you would need for running Wuthering Waves, and we're going to take a look at it here because on the Epic Game Store, they have both the minimum and recommended. So you would need at least Windows 10 or 11, which is something everybody should have by now. You don't have it, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but get it. You need an Intel Core i5, a 9th gen, and or a Ryzen 2700. So the Core i5 9th gen, that's a pretty basic CPU as far as I know, because you definitely get like any $200 laptop and have a Core i9. So not Core i9, i5 9th gen. Anything 9th gen really is kind of easy to get. 16 gigabytes of RAM, that's just your internal RAM. That is a big number for, honestly, having 16 gigabytes of RAM. But me personally, I have like 64, so not trying to flex on nobody or anything, but I just have way above all these requirements. With the GPU, a GTX 16, a GTX 1060 or RX 5570. So the GTX, I think I had that like way back. What was it? GTX 1060, GTX 1060. That came out like so long ago. You could easily, you probably, if you have like your basic gaming PC, you'll have that already. Really, to be honest, you have like a pre-built tree-built, you'll definitely have it. With the recommended, this where it gets like a bit more high. They want still Windows 10, Intel i7 this time, so like one tier up from it, or a Ryzen 3700, which is a CPU that I recently just upgraded from. Probably like, I think last week I bought a new one. I got the 58, I think 5900X, whatever. So 16 gigabytes and above. So honestly, when they say minimum 16 and then recommended 16 gigabytes and above, just have more than 16. Just have like, I would say to be comfortable, have like 32, honestly. My machine has 64, so I'm like not trying to flex again, but I'm way above that. But the real crazy part is how they want a GTX 2060 or a RX 7800 XT or above, and the 2060 came out 2019, so it's not too old of a CPU, not CPU, a GPU. It's a mid-range performance GPU. Some pre-builds to this day like comes with that installed. Honestly, you have a pre-build, you don't gotta worry about it. So, but just keep in mind that it's kind of getting more towards like the 2020 realm of graphics card. So, take that how you see it. But comparing it to something like Genshin, let me zoom in real quick a bit more. They're recommended, let's go minimum first, it's still i7. They wanted 8 gigabytes of RAM, so definitely like half the RAM that you would need for Wuthering Waves, which is, I'm surprised they squeeze out with 8 gigabytes of RAM as the minimum configuration. But with the graphics card, they wanted a GT 1030. This is like a super old graphics card. That's not even a GTX or anything. That's just a really old graphics card. DirectX 11, everybody probably has that. You update that, that's free, whatever. So 30 gigabytes of RAM, not RAM, 30 gigabytes of just internal storage. Obviously, any gacha game, when they say, oh, you have 30, and then when you actually go down the game, it's like you need like 100 and something. So you know how gacha updates be, it'd be huge updates. So expect way bigger, honestly, from here. And the recommended for PC is a GTX 1060. So it's not like too high of a difference. The only big difference that we have is probably the Core i7, which is not too much, but 6 gigabytes of RAM as the memory is kind of crazy. So Wuthering Waves definitely has like a lot more going on in terms of at least memory usage and GPU usage, because your CPU it's not too much relying on CPUs. So what it looks like, because right now we're on like, I think we're on 13th gen going to 14th gen for Intel. Do correct me if I'm wrong, don't know. I try to keep up with it. I'm a computer science major. I try to keep up with all this kind of stuff, but it is definitely kind of crazy that you need like GTX 2060. That games are getting like closer and closer to like modern. So I have a RTX 3060 and whatnot. So Yeah, in terms of what you need for your phone, at least for iPhone, I could say you'll need like at least 13 or above, iPhone 13 or above. And with Android, you would need at least, I would say, any Galaxy that is 20, I would say like 2020 above year, like actual, like don't get no like cheap Android phone, like actual like Galaxy phone, at least name brand sort of like that. I forgot which Snapdragon they recommend, but you know, you have like at least a Galaxy something, you should be fine, honestly. And you always, you know, turn your graphics down. You don't gotta put on the best because usually recommended is like you put on the best, probably high on a lot of stuff. But yeah, so you should be able to run this game no matter what. Just make sure you change the graphics. I may go through with good graphics settings for a GTX 2060 because I have a friend that has the graphics card and is going to play the game as well. So maybe I'll do a video when the game actually drops, like what's some good settings if you have this graphics card specifically, because I can't do it if you like, you know, anything else, because I'm not going to bother with the graphics cards. But yeah, you should definitely be able to run this game. And if you have any comments, any discussion about it, ask me any questions down below. Recommended stuff you might want, if you know you want to. I'm pretty knowledgeable about anything computer hardware and software. Just let me know. All right, goodbye.